Good morning, Seekers. What's happening? David Foster here again. And I wanted to do a follow-up video to the video that I did yesterday about how I believe Kamala Harris is not only being installed as the Democratic nominee, well, that already happened, but also being installed as your next president. And a lot of people are like, yeah, but a no vote is a vote for Kamala. It's like, okay, listen, do you not understand? Did your vote count in 2020? Did your vote count in 2020? No, it did not. Why? Because they stole it from you. But Joe Biden supposedly got 81 million votes through voter machines, mail-in ballots, and ballot harvesting, dead people voting, immigrants voting, illegal immigrants, and they've got it set up to where that's going to happen again. Look at all the illegals that came in that they're saying are going to vote Democrat. 49 different states registering voters, illegal voters, from the the welfare office. It's happening. So whether like people are, if you are not going to vote, you don't even have a say in what goes on. Like you need to keep your mouth shut. And no, that is not true. If somebody's not voting, it is my vote. It's my vote to do with whatever I want. So that doesn't mean that I can't participate in the conversation just because I'm not voting. It's a protest. My vote is against a system that doesn't exist. The system that you keep buying into. A lot of people keep buying into the system thinking, okay, we're going to fix this. We're going to get one man or one person in there and we're going to fix this whole entire thing. Everything's going to be hunky-dory. And that's not the case. And as you saw in 2020, your vote doesn't matter. It does not matter. Because they are already gearing up. And the problems that they had last time with Joe Biden, the little things where people were able to see things, guess what? There aren't going to be cameras in there anymore. And listen to this video from Kamala Harris. This is what she's saying, what they're going to do.
We have been doing work to promote voter participation for students. And for example, we have, under the Federal Work Study program, now allow students to get paid through Federal Work Study to register people and to be nonpartisan poll workers. As we know, this is important for a number of reasons. One, to engage our young leaders in this process and activate them in terms of their ability to strengthen our communities.
So what does that mean? That means you're going to have paid teenagers, okay, manipulatable teenagers who've had their college debt canceled or potentially will, as poll workers. And what does that mean? Counting our votes. They're already setting the stage. And you guys are not all of you. Now I know a lot of you agree with me, a lot of you understand where I'm coming from, but a lot of you are still buying into the system and you're like, I don't care. I'm still doing this. I'm still doing this. Hey, and that's absolutely fine. I would never tell you what to do with your vote. I would never knock you if you voted Biden. Well, that was a vote for Trump. You didn't vote. You voted for whatever. You voted for Jill Stein. You voted, like, you wasted your vote on Jill Stein. Like, I would never do that. It's not my place. It's not my place to tell you what to do or not to do with your vote. That is up to you. You can do whatever you want. But I'm telling you, even more so than 2020, they are laying the foundation. And we know that the voting machines, so even if you're a Democrat and you were a huge supporter of Bernie Sanders, that happened in the primary. All of the states that had voting machines, Joe Biden won. All of the caucus states, Bernie Sanders won. And Bernie Sanders had way more support than Joe Biden. Way more. Overwhelmingly more. He was packing football stadiums like Trump does. So Bernie had real legitimate support. But they stole it from him. And he just backed off. He didn't say anything. He didn't do what he should have done, which is gone after them and convince people that it was stolen from him. We even have the emails from the DNC in 2016, how it was stolen from him as well, thanks to WikiLeaks. So I'm telling you, the election is rigged. And they're already laying the foundation. They've got all these illegals in here to vote. They have started a mass propaganda campaign that has convinced their base that she does have the support that they didn't think she had. They're going to be hiring teenagers to work at the polls and count the votes. I can almost bet you there's not going to be cameras. There's not going to be, I mean, with mail-in ballots, they're able to run those like 3 and 4 times, which is what happened in 2020. There were huge spikes for Joe Biden at weird hours in the night when the polls were closed. The polling stations were closed. Counting stations where they were counting the votes. So you guys tell me, those of you that are telling me that I still need to vote, how much did your vote matter in 2020? Now, I want to explain to also people who are asking me, well, why don't you just vote for Trump just in case or whatever? I told you, if Biden stayed in the race, I would vote for Trump. And the reason is, I thought that because we all knew, and so did all the Democrats knew, that Biden did not have support. He was not supported by his own party. Donors were pulling out. All the left wing media were like, you could tell they were on him. They were like, okay, this is serious. He had zero support. So every Democrat wanted him out. But he was fighting to stay in. Had he stayed in and still won, then that would have been the Democratic base, and a whole bunch of Democratic media, the left-wing media, would have been like, okay, maybe they were right about the elections being hijacked. Maybe they were right that they're being stolen because he had no support. There's no way he won. That was my hope. But like I said, if they replace Biden with someone else, anyone else, it's not going to matter. I did not think it would be Kamala, though. I really didn't. I didn't think that they would think that that was a good idea. That's why they were throwing around bigger names, people that are more articulate, people that are more popular. Like, I thought for sure that they would replace her with somebody. But no, they went with her. And then the machine just kicked in. And now she's got the endorsement of every Democratic governor, the Obamas, the Clintons. Bernie Sanders holding out, though. Bernie Sanders isn't endorsing her, but everyone else that matters is. You've got a huge celebrity campaign. You've got the white dudes for Harris, with even the dude, Jeff Lebowski, freaking coming out for her. Jeff Bridges. Oh, gosh. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, like some people that I really like coming out for her. And of course Mark Hamill, which nobody likes anymore. That guy's a freaking pandering piece of shit. That guy lost the force a long time ago. And he's been making references like to Star Wars and her and stuff, and don't bring my childhood nostalgic movies into your freaking rhetoric, piece of shit. But anyway, the machine is going full force. And that means, again, we're going to see ballot harvesting. We're going to see mail-in ballots being scanned multiple times. We're going to see voter machine fraud. And the thing is, it's going to be, they're going to talk about Donald Trump tried to say the last election wasn't legit. He's going to do it again, so be on the lookout. And so they're going to be watching for you guys, for Republicans. They're going to be watching for you to do things at the polls, because people are going to be like, okay, we're going to have people watching the polls now. We're going to have people stationed everywhere. We're going to take this into our own hands. Yeah, good luck with that. Because they're going to have things in place to make it look like you are trying to steal the election again, that you're trying, that we're on this side. Okay, now, when I say this side, I mean the opposite side of the establishment. I don't mean Republican and Democrat, because I do not choose a side. I'm not on any of that side. I'm talking the establishment side and the side that's not the establishment. The people who are actually awake. Not woke, but awake. Do you know what I mean? So they're going to convince the establishment Democrats and people that follow that whole narrative that you are completely crazy and that you're trying to stop the transfer of power. Well, there's no transfer this time, but you're trying to stop the election results. So both sides are going to be uber sensitive, because on the Trump side, they're definitely not going to, they're going to be wanting to make sure that this doesn't happen again, that's not stolen again. So I'm sure they're trying to put things in place to monitor that and make sure. But the other side has already established that doing that is election interference, and it is insane and crazy. So I appreciate the conversation. I really do. I appreciate everyone who's chiming into these videos. But for those of you that are saying that somebody shouldn't be allowed to be part of the conversation if they don't vote, guess what? The Constitution guarantees me that right. I have the right to say whatever the fuck I want. And I will. I will say whatever I want. And no one's going to stop me. No one's going to force me to vote. No one's going to convince me to do, unless there was some kind of movement where people had enough, evidence or information that could convince me. But I pay attention. I'm watching. I'm watching it in real time. You are watching the establishment just completely suck up the narrative and prepare themselves to keep Trump out of office again. And I've even had people say, no, it's prophecy. Trump will be president because it's what the Bible predicts. Well, what are you going to do if he's not president? You're going to denounce your Bible? You're going to denounce your God? I wish people would not say that. It is not prophecy. Trump is not some prophet. If you watched a documentary called You've Been Trumped, you would see that Trump is no prophet. Trump is a egotistical human being. All right? Look, he might have some good ideas, he might do some good things, but the guy's basically an authoritarian. And I'm not judging anybody who votes for him because I get it. I was going to vote for him if Biden stayed in the race. I get it. This much better right now is better. But he's still the lesser of two evils. At the end of the day, he is still the lesser of two evils, and he's not the saint that some people are making him out to be. He is not a prophet. He is a man who has a sordid past and is, maybe he's on a redemption arc. Maybe he's like the comic book redemption arc story. Maybe he's there. I don't see it. But hey, like I said, I don't judge. I don't judge you for wanting to vote Trump, so don't judge me for not wanting to vote and partake in a system that is a sham, a complete sham. I was in the belly of the beast in 2012. I worked the main campaign and I saw it firsthand. You do not have a choice. And you didn't have a choice in 2020. And that's why after this election, because I know a lot of you will not do it now because you want to vote for Trump, and that's fine. Like I said, do what you want with your vote. Use it however it makes you feel, like just however you want to use it. It's your vote. Or not use it. Whatever you want. But after this election, we have got to get the hell away from these parties. We've got to ditch these parties and get away from them. Because they're no good. They're corrupt and they control our country. That is the establishment. The two parties are the establishment. That's what they are. And people are like, well, if you're not going to vote for them, vote for Jill Stein or John F. Kennedy or Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I don't like either of them. I'm sorry. I am not going. The only reason I was willing to vote for Trump was because of the scenario that I said earlier. But I vote by principle, and I am not going to vote for anyone who supports what Israel is doing. Not anyone. And Robert Kennedy Jr., he vehemently supports Israel. I mean, he when I heard him talk about it, it was worse than what any of the others are saying. It's like, holy cow, this guy is a zealot for Israel. I can't vote for that. I can't because of my principles. I was willing to forego that in hopes of fixing the entire electoral system if Biden stayed in the race. But he didn't, so I'm going back to protesting and not participating and trying to figure out a way to convince people to get the hell out of the parties, the two parties. Somebody was like, well, the party system is fine, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, I understand that. We can have parties. That's fine. But we just can't let these two private parties run the whole show, because that's what we're doing. They are running the entire show. They give us the candidates. And if we pick one that we like and they don't like them, like Bernie Sanders or Ron Paul, they change the rules and get them out anyway, giving you the illusion of choice. It's an illusion. The whole system is an illusion to make you think that you have a choice, to make you think your participation matters. And that's exactly where they want you. But when you try to do something over and over and over again and to change something, but you keep getting the same result, that is the definition of insanity. And we've become insane as a population. Our population is insane because we still think, and I say we as the collective, not myself because I don't believe it, but we as a collective still believe that when we go to that ballot box or send in our vote or however we vote, that it matters. And they love that because you're still participating. It's like they're watching Monday Night Football. You're on team red, they're on team blue, and it's like those two teams are fighting in the ring, in the gladiator ring, and people are just so in that world, like I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat, that they lose sight of and don't even pay attention to what is actually happening on the back end. There are so many people who still, even on the right, even in the conservative side, that don't believe the election was stolen. There is like tons of empirical data. Like it is 100% proven that it was 100%. It's not a maybe it was. It was. We would have a different president if what happened didn't happen. It is 100% illegitimate. But you have to be careful saying that. And a lot of people still don't believe it. You can show them all the data. But because people are so into planting flags and just being like, nope, not going to buy it. I don't even want to look at the information you have. I already have my mind made up. You can't be like that. It was stolen. And there's even more groundwork being laid than when it was laid with Biden. Biden, it was kind of like ninja tactics. You know, we knew he didn't have support. We knew he had dementia and all that. But he just didn't really participate in the media. Where Kamala, she's out there. Biden kind of hid. Kamala is going out. And the propaganda machine is just on full, like the sprinkler is just wide open. Wide open. And now they've convinced their base that she has all this support. They've already got the whatever they need for the voting machines, because that's just programming. You just pay, whatever for whoever to program it, and boom, it's done. Now they're hiring poll workers from college students, where it's like, hey, come work for, the polls, and you can get paid, and hey, we'll forgive your student loan debt too. But you have to do it this way. Nonpartisan poll workers, are you kidding me? You really think, why would they be saying that right now? Why would this be something they'd be working on right now before the election? So pay attention. Watch. Don't listen to what they're saying. Look at what they're doing. Okay? Well, which is part of what they're saying. I mean, when they're saying stuff like this, that's kind of like publicly admitting. But also you got to watch what they're doing. Watch what they're doing in the back end. Watch if you are somebody that could see the snowball starting, and then to just see how it basically, it's like they dropped it down a really sharp, like steep hill, because it became a unmanageable snowball very fast. It was like one day she didn't have support, and the next day they were showing lines and lines of people to get in to see her. You know what I mean? You got to watch those things. And you can see it coming. So it's coming, people. Now, whether or not some thing will happen that's unprecedented and somehow Trump gets in there, but me personally, I do not see it happening. I don't know how he goes against a behemoth like the United States government, because he already lost against it once. And he keeps losing against it. Now you can say, no, he keeps winning. He didn't get assassinated. He didn't end up in jail and things turned around. Yeah, but that just shows they're going to do whatever they have to do to keep him out of there. They're already futzing with the debate schedules and stuff like that. And now it's like Kamala wanted to interview him on, what was it, ABC or CBS, but Trump has an active lawsuit against Stephanopoulos or something, so he can't do it there. So he has to do it at Fox News, and now everybody's like, oh, he couldn't handle doing it with a real person. Now he's got to do it over on Fox News, blah, blah, blah. You guys, pay attention to the rhetoric. It's important. and then listen to what they're saying, but then watch what they do. Watch what they do. Watch carefully what they do. And I'm going to keep breaking this down as it progresses. But the fact that they're going to be hiring college poll workers should scare the shit out of you, because that just means it's already, like, you guys, you are not going to be allowed in to watch the polls. Those of you that are saying, we're going to take this into our own hands and go do that. Yeah, you're going to be considered a nut job, and you'll probably end up in jail like the J6ers that are still rotting in cells that did absolutely nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. So think about that. Think about that first, because that's what's happening. You know, you can tell me till you're blue in the face that I'm stupid for not voting. I should at least vote for somebody, use my vote in some way. No. I will not. I will not participate in this sham of a system. We have to pull out of the parties and then eventually get a third party candidate that we can all get behind and say, screw the establishment. They're not going to register Republican. They're not going to register Democrat. They're going to run as whatever party. I don't know if that would be the People's Party, the Purple Party, like who knows what party it would be. But what we have right now is not going to work. It's never going to work in our favor, because they're private companies. Unless somebody wants to buy the Republican Party, I wouldn't really invest in the Democratic Party, but like buy the party, like buy the company, become the owner of the Republican Party, and maybe you would have a say. But as a collective, we just need to get away from them. We need to get away from the parties. We need to get away from the whole system, and we need a reboot. We need to. Have you tried turning it off and on yet? Like that was a horrible, horrible accent from the IT crowd. But anyway, we need to turn it off and on and do a hard reboot, because what we have now is complete and utter shit. All right? Please keep the conversations going, and you guys try to listen more to people. Some of you just don't even listen. Some people thought that I was voting Kamala Harris. Like, watch the video. Don't comment if you're not watching the video. You're just going by what I say in the title. There's a reason you have to title things the way that I title them on YouTube. Otherwise, it just goes into the void and never to be seen. So, thank you so much for watching the video. If you're new here, please subscribe if you like this kind of content. If you're already think you're subscribed, please look, because YouTube has a way of unsubscribing people every single week. It used to be month, but I'm losing, like 100 a week, and then they come back, and then they go away, then they come back, and it's just like I'm teetering on 140,000 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 140,000. So please subscribe, check your subscribe, see if you're still subscribed. And then if you really want to support me and what we do here, you can come over and join the Discord, but you can also become a member of the YouTube channel for as low as 99 cents a month. And the support really helps me keep doing these videos. And there are some things that I want to do when I get out to Colorado, as far as like remote live streaming, so we can go out and have these conversations outdoors in other places than my house. That would be great. So thank you guys so much. Look forward to seeing you again, and just pay attention. Pay attention. All right? See you guys in the next video. Now roll the credits. Peace.